Welcome in, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome in, everybody. Yes, it is Scarhead. Hi, Sparkle Tree. Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there. If you're a doggo daddy, or if you're a human dad, a fish dad, happy Father's Day. Welcome in, everybody. If you're new here, my name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I am here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. I do write and record all of these stories myself. They are original content, and I read them live over here. But if you would like to listen to them on recording whenever you would like when I'm not live, there's a playlist of them, and they are all available on my YT channel, as well as all of the podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you will find me. Also, the links are in my bio. I'm so glad, Redneck, you did fall asleep. Yay! Yay! I told ya. I'm glad you came back. And yes, a big shout out to the dads who are no longer with us as well. And to those of you missing your dads, sending you guys love. Rachie, I'm so sorry to hear that. What do I think of the Obsession movie? I think it's a movie for incels. That's what I think. I think it's disgusting and horrifying concept. That a man couldn't even talk about his feelings enough, or like be able to communicate with women to where he does that. It's disgusting and it's pathetic, and he got what he deserved. And she's the victim. You don't want to get burned? Don't play with fire, bro. Hi, Lemons. I love you. Oh, wait. She disappeared. I thought I saw Lemons. Yep, exactly. Be careful what you wish for, dude. Thank you for the follow. Let's see what we got today. Oh, I'm sorry, Tank Girl. I'm so sorry to hear that. You're new here. Welcome in. Welcome to the porch. My name's Devin, and I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I'm here every night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. Welcome in, guys. And if you guys could do me a big favor, you're chilling on your porch? Awesome, Tia. If you guys could do me a big favor, could you hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner? And there's a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs. And it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. It is appropriate, Kenneth. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. He's the best. Hi, Lemons. I'm sorry I missed you when you popped in. I just wanted to say I love you. Hi. Happy Sunday. I love you. Thanks for coming in. She gets really weirded out when I tell her I love her, so I like to do it a lot publicly to make her comfortable with it. I love you so much. Her response is always, don't make it weird. She's my favorite. She says, God, don't make it weird. She said, I love you too, or whatever. It's like, I feel like she's like Wednesday, and I'm like the unicorn one, Enid. I'm like, I know you love me. You're gonna love me. And yes, happy summer solstice. Happy summer solstice. And you don't have to ever apologize, Kenneth. That's very kind. And hi, Songbird. Hi, Maureen. Hi, Paige. Hi, Chedsy. Hi, Priscilla. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Akaro. Khaleesi. Shells, hello. Hi, Sav. Hi, Callie girl. Hi, Lily. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy summer solstice. Happy Father's Day. To those of you who are missing your dads, to those of you who are human dads, to those of you who are animal dads, and to those of you who don't like your dads or feel kind of weird mixed feelings about it, this is a safe place to hang out. And that's the last time I'll mention Father's Day. So I love you guys. And feel free, after you hit the repost and share it and all the things, write your story requests in all capital letters in the chat, and I will write them down and we will vote. Welcome to the porch. And yes, happy Father's Day to the mothers out there who do it themselves, like my sister. Happy Father's Day to the mothers who are both. And happy Father's Day to the fathers who are both. Tracy, this is my sister's first year. And she texted me today. I'm so proud of her. She's healed and grown so much. And she said, I'm celebrating today because I'm the father and the mother. And I was like, yes, you are, bitch. That's exactly right. Yep. You're both, and you're the dad. Yeah. And my mom was more of the working one in my childhood. So my dad was both. Like, my dad took me to get my training bra. I mean, I was so lucky. My dad was both. So they do exist too. So shout out to anybody who is a dad in any form. We appreciate you. And if you're POS dad, go fix it, or, fix it. There's really no or, just fix it. All right, guys, put your story requests in all capital letters and I will write them down. Be right back. I online every single night. Hi, Lorna. Hi, Jade. Hi, James. Hi, James. Hi, Jade. Hi, Rochelle. Hi, Beefy. Hi, Holly. Goldilocks said, "Whoa, just got here in time to hear the POS dad shout out." Hi, Lisa. Hi, Teza. Okay, you guys, I'm going to set up the first poll. Thank you for all the story requests. If you haven't put yours in, feel free to do it, but do it in all capital letters. And I'm going to set up the first poll. Feel free to hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner. There's a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs. And it helps us grow our beautiful porch. Also, sharing to your stories and sharing with your friends helps too. And I will be right back. Oh, yep. The link for coins. Crap. I'll have to try to find it again. But yeah, give me a second and I will. Be right back. I don't even remember how I found the copyable link because it's not a copyable link for mine. So, does anybody know how to share the coin thingy again? Because it's not letting me share it anywhere, which is really weird. Thank you so much, Alondra. Thank you so much. I was over here freaking out because I cannot find a way to share it. It's just, I have it saved as like a bookmark on my phone. Thank you so much. There you go, Holly. Welcome in, Drink Dr. Pumpkin. And Leora, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the porch. If you guys are new here, welcome in. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. What's what, Skrilla? Hi. I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. I do write and record all of these stories myself, and they are original content. What? I don't understand what that means, Skrilla. What does that even mean? I don't know what that means. No clue. Hi, CJ. But I'm pretty sure double cheeked up is not Puritan slang, so I literally don't know what that means. But I'm assuming it has something to do with, like, I don't know, butt cheeks. Or hi, HMB, how are you? Tessa, that's because I'm using a third party called Restream that streams me out to 2 other apps. So it's catching the signal and sending it again. So there's going to be a delay just like there is on television. If I were to stream directly from YT, there wouldn't be a delay. But I haven't listened to it, but I have heard that there's a major delay. Really, Holly? Office Penguin and Bloom Melody. That's weird too, because the Bloom Melody one, it shows up small because that goes on your head or something. Maybe you picked ones that go on the head again. Yeah, I think the penguin might too. Oh my god, it looks so cute. The penguin looks so cute. Dude, that's annoying. Poor Holly. Holly has the worst luck with the gifts. But you know what? Skrilla said his haven't been showing up either, Holly. It's like, depends. And I think it depends on the, if it's one of the head gifts. But those gifts that go on your head used to show up still and just be small. It's happened to you too, Lily. Maybe I need to put something with a head on the porch so that the gifts, do you know what I'm talking about? Like Mothman or something. So that the gifts go on him. Do you know what I mean? Because it appears to be the gifts that go on people's heads. But how do you tell? It doesn't tell you that that's a gift for the head, I don't think. Yeah, Matt. Well, this whole app is just really glitchy. Holly, the whale worked. Did you see that? Oh my god. She's like, hold on, let me just pick the whale. One of the coolest gifts ever. Thank you. Yeah, you wish, CJ. that the only time? Is that the only day of the year? Just kidding. The regular gifts too, not just the head ones? Okay, that's good to know. Then I guess there's no point in adding a little creature. CJ said not even then. I'm just teasing you, CJ. Well, I'm sorry, guys. And you know what? They do show up in the replay. I know that's not as fun, but they do show up in the replays. Sorry, guys. This app is just... And the gifts are like they look so much fun. So I love them. But I'm never getting over that they gave me capybaras for a week. And then took them away. Like, what? I'll never forget the capybara that had a towel on his head with buns. Yeah, Holly, I can see him. Yeah. And I get credit for him. Yeah, I can see him in the replays. And because I made sure I have a second phone swiped out so I don't miss gifts. And sometimes they'll pop up there, but when they don't, the ones that don't pop up on the phone show up on the replay. And I'm like, what the hell? I didn't see that one on my phone. So they do. And I go back and watch the replays to make sure. Plus I download all of them, so. Which one's that, Jade? I'm not that familiar with all the gifts because I kind of just make my goal some normal obtainable ones, you know, so I'm not really familiar with the like super cool ones. Oh, thanks. That's so cute, Sally. Oh, are you talking about the astronaut one that like stands and stomps, like the clip I have on my page? Because the astronaut one is cool. Or are you talking about the journal one? Holly, thanks for the manifesting. Yeah, Steph, that's the goal. Is spooky bedtime stories. Welcome in. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. Hi, Dallas. And I am here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. And I do write and record all of these stories myself, and you can listen to them when I'm not live on my YT channel, as well as all of the podcast streaming sites. I also premiere new stories live on my YT channel every Monday, which is tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So feel free to sub over there and join us for the live premiere and first listen. We do a live chat. It's a lot of fun. And this week's story is a fun one. It is actually folklore that I grew up with, for a change, because a lot of times I tell other people's stories and encounters, but this one is one I grew up hearing in Appalachia. I mean, I've heard a lot of the ones I covered, but this one was one that was very prevalent in where I grew up, and a very common folk belief where I grew up. So I'm excited for you guys to hear it. And how many of you have heard of it before? Nope. I don't know what the Candyman is. I cover more folklore, not like serial unalivers. So that sounds like a serial unaliver, but I could be wrong. Oh, Glitch fell asleep. I love that. I love when the pets fall asleep. Yes, GG, it's on YT tomorrow at 7 p.m. But then I'll read them over here. But the premieres are always on YT first. And then I come over here and I read them. But YT is my home base. I just come here to read the stories live for you guys. But that's where they live. Hi, Seabass. All right, guys, I'll be right back with the poll. Trish, thank you for the follow and welcome to the porch. Oh, God, CJ. Good luck, Jade. Make sure you brace yourself to not like what you find, because I didn't. I'll take it from me. I did not brace myself to not like what I found, and it was very jarring. Yeah, and remember, Jade, I've like remember I sent you voice notes crying about it. Like, remember with John, because of that whole, remember? It's a lot. It's heavy if you, yeah. So I'll be there to support you, but just brace yourself, because you might not like what you find, and it's once you know, you don't unknow ever again. Yeah, like I can never unknow that now. Does that make sense? So I said, is that what I said? Did I say member? God, I'm such a redneck. Is that really what I said? Member? Member, Jade? Member? Why do I see it slips out? It slips out every once in a while. Of course, CJ, that is literally the sample I use for this UFO noise. Load up the choppers like it's December 31st. Dun, 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 dun. Hear it? Hear it? Dun, 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 dun. James, that's a good one. Hi, Dino. I'm going to set up the poll right now, and then we vote. And then whatever story you guys decide on, I read. So give me 1 second. I just have to type out the poll myself, and it's kind of tedious. But then you guys vote. And guess what, guys? It's Silly Story Title Sunday. And so I am going to title the stories Silly Titles again. And yes, I write all of these stories myself, Koi Lady, and they range from anywhere from 8 minutes to 25 minutes, just depending on which one wins. So grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax, and welcome to the porch. I'll be right back with the first poll. Yes, Jade, a weekend thing. Okay, you guys. The first poll is ready, and it's Silly Story Title Sunday. So if you are new here, don't worry. A, these are not the normal titles of the stories, and B, if you don't know what the stories are because you're not here all the time, that's fine. Just sit back and relax till you learn the stories, because again, tomorrow I will go back to the normal titles. But for Saturday and Sundays, we do silly titles, kind of just play off the inside jokes or the nicknames that these stories have developed. So if you don't know what the hell these names mean, don't worry about it. Sit back and relax. I promise, even if they don't sound spooky, they are spooky. So if you like Are You Afraid of the Dark? If you like Goosebumps, if you like So Weird, Eerie, Indiana, Twilight Zone, Hitchcock Hour, Midnight Hour, anything like that, you are in the right place. So grab a beanbag chair, sit back and relax, and welcome to the porch. And we have, for the poll, hold on one second. Sorry, guys. I'm changing something for Jade. Okay. All right, we have the mad scientist. Fresno knees, Jamie. Okay. We have the mad scientist. We have Jade's injured foot. We have the Fresno knees. We have 50 Cent the seal. And we have He Didn't Get Away With It. And you can vote in the blue box in the top left-hand corner. We have the mad scientist, Jade's injured foot, the Fresno knees, and 50 Cent the seal, and He Didn't Get Away With It. Who's it gonna be? Tez, who? Dean, who? Who are you talking about? Mama Beth, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Cindy's Dreams, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the porch. And yeah, the poll is in the left-hand corner. It's a blue box. Ooh, who's in the lead? 50 Cent the seal is in the lead. And 50 Cent the seal won. And don't worry, Jade loves Curtis. And, oh, thank you, Gigi. This is actually the story called The Door in the Water, which is about an Irish folk tradition of the Selkies. And in it, there is a cutie little seal. And many people have come into the live and asked if the image in the picture is me. So I said, yes, it is absolutely me. And that is my pet seal, Curtis. And then they said, why did you name your pet seal Curtis? And I said, after the wise poet, Curtis Jackson. And for those of you who don't know, 50 Cent's real name is Curtis Jackson. So, the real title is The Door in the Water. And it's a story about the Selkies. So this is 50 Cent the Seal. I'll be right back. Get comfy. Jamie, you guys, this is my real life friend. And she is one of my only real life friends that's ever voted for shit. Like my real life friends come in, but they don't even know how to use TikTok. Like Christina and stuff, they're just like, what up? And Jamie like got coins and everything, and she goes, I can't believe I'm the only one who voted for the Fresno knees. I love you, Jamie. Be right back. By the way, I don't know who told me to hurry up in the chat, but you have one warning. Don't do that again. I mean, I don't know who the person is, but he knows who he is. And without calling him out, don't do it again. Lynn, you're so cute. It was a dark and rainy night. Yeah, Anna. Yep. I saw him say it as I was getting up to go to the bathroom. Because I'm a human being and I drink throat coat tea. So I can read you guys stories for 4 hours. And guess what? I do have to pee sometimes. Believe it or not. That's right, Brooke. Yes, Jamie. Well, Jamie, you know the truth, but shh. The rest of them don't. Jamie, hush. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the door in the water. And yes, thank you, lovely. I am in fact streaming on 3 platforms. I have 6 screens in front of my face at which I am looking at almost at all times, while having to switch the image in the background for both 2 of the 3 platforms each time I'm switching. So, just a reminder, I'm a one-woman producing show. I do not have producers like a lot of other podcasts, so if you're in a hurry, you're in luck, because you can listen to these stories on my YT channel without having to wait at all. But you can't come in here and tell me to hurry up. Got it? Okay. Ireland has a long memory for the things that live near the water. Rivers, lakes, tidal inlets. Places where the land blurs into something deeper have always carried their own folklore. Thank you, Luna. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Jason. Long before written history, stories passed from village to village about beings that lived in those shifting boundaries between land and water. Some were said to be spirits. Others were described as ancient races that existed alongside humanity but rarely revealed themselves. One of the oldest and most widely known among them is the Selkie. In Scottish and Irish folklore, Selkies are described as seals that can shed their skin and take human form on land. The stories appear in oral traditions stretching back centuries along the Atlantic coast, particularly in places where villages lived side by side with the sea. But the legends don't treat Selkies like romantic fairy tale creatures, no. Most of those old stories carry warnings. They described fishermen seeing seals watching them from the water with unsettling intelligence. They described people who claimed to encounter strangers along empty shorelines who seemed almost human, but not. And the most persistent belief woven through those stories is simple. If a Selkie sealskin is stolen while they are on land, they cannot return to the sea. Some folk tales describe human men hiding the skins and forcing the Selkie to marry them and remain on land. But the ending of those tales is rarely happy, usually resulting in the Selkie killing the human man, finding her skin, and leaving. No matter what life she built on land, no matter who she leaves behind, when given the choice, they will always return to the sea. And the men who tried to remove that choice usually wound up dead. And in some stories, the sea takes something with it when that happens. The man's soul. I had been traveling along Ireland's western coastline for several days, working on a series about folklore that still lingers quietly in certain landscapes. The Atlantic coast of Ireland is the perfect place for that kind of story. Cliffs fall straight into cold gray water, and fishing villages sit exactly where they have for centuries. The wind carries the smell of salt and seaweed across miles of open stone. It's the kind of place where old stories don't feel completely separate from the present. Eventually, my route took me to Doolin, a small village perched along the coast not far from the cliffs of Moher. Most visitors come there for cliffs or the traditional music clubs. But a few miles north of the village sits a narrow stretch of shoreline that locals sometimes call the Seal Strand. It's not marked on tourist maps, and there's no sign pointing the way. It's just a rough gravel track leading toward the water. I found the place late in the afternoon while exploring the coastline. The Atlantic stretched out endlessly beyond the rocks, gray waves rolling slowly toward the shore. Oh my God, thanks, Matt! A handful of seals were resting on black stone ledges near the waterline, and they watched me quietly as I approached. Thank you, Lauren. Seals are common along the Irish coast, so at first, the sight didn't seem unusual. But the way they were looking at me did. They weren't startled. They didn't slide back into the water like most seals do when people get close. They just stayed there, watching me, following my movements with their eyes. The tide was beginning to fall, exposing long stretches of slick rock that hadn't been visible earlier. Pools of seawater collected in the crevices, reflecting the dimming light. And I walked along the shoreline for a while, filming the seals from a distance and listening to the steady rhythm of the waves. Eventually, the animals slipped quietly back into the water one by one, all except for one. It remained on a rock near the edge of a narrow inlet, a large gray seal. Its head tilted slightly as if it watched me. When the sun dipped lower, shadows from the cliffs stretched across the water. And that was when I noticed something strange along the far side of the inlet. A figure on the rocks. At first, I thought it was just another visitor watching the sunset too. But something about their posture caught my attention. They sat perfectly still, barefoot. Long, dark hair moved gently in the wind. I assumed they simply just hadn't noticed me yet. The inlet was quiet except for the sound of waves brushing against the rocks. So I walked a little closer. And that's when the seal on the rock behind me slipped back into the water. The splash echoed across the inlet, and the figure on the far side turned their head and looked directly at me. Their expression wasn't surprised or annoyed. It was almost as if they had been expecting someone to arrive eventually. They stood slowly and stepped onto the wet rocks beside the inlet. And that's when I noticed something else. Their clothes lay folded neatly on a nearby stone. And beside them, something dark and heavy. Something that looked almost like a wet animal hide. For a moment, neither of us moved. The wind picked up slightly, pushing small waves through the narrow channel between the rocks. And the figure studied me with a calm, steady expression. And then they did something I still struggle to explain. They stepped directly into the water and disappeared beneath the surface without a splash. I stood there waiting for them to reappear. Seconds passed, and then minutes, and the water remained perfectly calm. No movement, no sign of anyone surfacing. I walked to the edge of the inlet, and I looked down into the dark water. The tide had pulled away enough that the bottom should have been visible through the clear surface. But the channel dropped deeper than I expected, and the water turned black just a few feet below the rocks. As I leaned closer, something moved beneath the surface, slow and smooth, rising upward. It was the gray seal from earlier, and it broke the surface of the water only a few feet from where the figure had vanished. It floated there quietly, looking up at me. And in that moment, a strange thought crossed my mind. Thanks, Omi. That maybe I was looking into the same eyes that had been watching me from across the inlet. Thanks, Whitney. Thanks, Holly. The seal held my gaze for several seconds. And then it slowly turned toward the rock where the folded clothes still laid. I followed its gaze, and the hide was gone. Nothing remained except the pile of clothes on a wet stone and the sound of the ocean moving around it. When I turned back toward the water, the seal had vanished too. Night was settling over the coastline, and the wind grew stronger, pushing the tide slowly toward the shore. Skrilla. The inlet began filling with deeper water. I stayed there for a while longer, trying to convince myself that there had to be a simple explanation. A swimmer, a diver, someone who had slipped away beneath the rocks. But the longer I stood there, the more the scene replayed. The folded clothes, the dark hide, the way the seals had watched me earlier. And the way that final one had surfaced exactly where the other disappeared. Yes, Skrilla, why is no one laughing at that? That's so funny. Eventually, I started walking back toward the gravel road. The last light of day had faded completely, leaving only the pale outline of waves against the rocks. Halfway up the path, I heard a sound behind me. A voice carried in the wind. calling from the shoreline below. Yeah, duck fans, for real. True horror. I turned, and by now the inlet was barely visible in the darkness. But something stood on the rock where the figure had been earlier. The wind shifted again and carried another sound across the rocks. A song. I stood there listening as the call echoed across the shoreline. And then another answered somewhere out in the dark ocean. And then another and another. Several voices. The figure on the rock didn't move. I simply watched the water waiting. The tide continued rising slowly beneath the cliffs, filling the inlet, reaching for the rock where the figure stood. Duck fans, that's funny. And just before the waves completely covered the stone, the shape disappeared beneath the water. As if it had always belonged there. I stayed long enough to watch the tide swallow the inlet entirely. And then the ocean grew quiet again. The rocks vanished beneath the dark surface, and nothing remained except the sound of the waves and the wind moving across the cliffs. But as I finally turned back toward the road, one thought kept circling my mind. In all the old Selkie legends, the creature only returns to the sea after finding its skin again. And if that dark hide on the rock had really been what it looked like, then the question that stayed with me wasn't whether I had seen a Selkie that evening. That wasn't the unnerving part. The horrifying thought to me was, who was the sick human being that took her skin? And where is he now? And that's the tale of the door in the water. Tonight called 50 Cent the Seal. And if you like this picture, it is available as a framed print on the merch site, which is right here in this little banner that I just moved down. And the links are in my bio. Also, lots of the other backgrounds are framed prints as well. And if there is one you want that is not on the site, let me know and I will make it. Thanks, Lonnie. It is actually one of my favorite stories as well. Thank you, Justin. It is one of my favorite stories. Hi, Guinevere. Back to the regular music. That's for the Piest Banshee. Supernatural woman music. See you later, John. Tessa. Yeah, right, Matt? Hi, Deborah. Welcome back. All right, guys, ready to vote for the next story? And welcome in. If you're new here, my name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I am here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. I do write and record all of these stories myself. Oh, Holly, thanks. God, I love that one. That's one of my favorite ones. Oh my God, thanks. I love that one. Thanks, Holly. And Desiree, thanks for the paper crane. I know, I love that meteor shower. It's so pretty. Hi, Iron Wolf. Thanks for the follow. And thanks, Holly. That one worked. I love that one. That's really one of my favorite ones, and I don't get it very often. So thank you so much. That like made me smile. It's so pretty. I do write all these stories myself, and they are original content that I read live over here, but you can watch the video versions of them or listen whenever you would like when I'm not live on my YT channel or any of the podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you will find me. And all of the links are in my bio. Hi, Erin. Hi, Jewel. Welcome in. Hi, Jumbo Honey Bun. All right, guys, I'm going to set up the next poll so we can vote for the next story. Happy Sunday. Matt, you had a spider bite you last night? What kind of spider? I actually am not a huge honey bun fan, Justin. I'm more of like the donut stick gal or like the coffee cake one. If we're talking about like that brand, give me those donut sticks any day. The gas station donuts. Yeah, zebra cakes are good too. But I really like the like like the ones that aren't like the gas station brands. They're just, I don't even know what brand they are. There's like this coffee stick, like donut sticks. Yeah, it does. Yeah, just like the donut sticks, and they're like, I don't even know what kind of donut they are. They're just good. They're just good. Yes, Tank Girl, I was actually bitten by a brown recluse. New nickname acquired, coffee stick. I was bitten by a brown recluse, and I actually have a scar on my forehead, and it was a horrible experience. So I'm so sorry. How question is the sun up in the UK? Huh? Tessa, I don't know. Don't you live in the UK? Yeah, it was really bad on my face. No, it actually bit my eye, the side of my eye, and the poison takes the quickest system it can to get out of your body, and it chose my sinus cavity. And you know how like up in the top of your forehead, at the top of your like nose, right in the middle of your forehead, there's those two sinus cavities? Yep, that one. Just a big hole busted out of my face. I'm not kidding. It's terrible. It was, I don't even want to, it was disgusting. It did, Brooke. It did. And then I still have a scar, but it's not that bad. But it did. It was a hole. And then I was in my friend who married a celebrity. I was in her wedding, and the paparazzi followed us around New Orleans, and I had a giant hole in my head. It was really cool. It was great. It was great. And they edited it out of the wedding pictures, but the paparazzi didn't. My friends did, but the paparazzi didn't. And it was just, yeah, it was bad. Anyway, I'll be right back with the next poll. Yes, it was really bad. And the poor thing bit me while I was sleeping. So like I probably like took my giant hand and like tried to flick it away asleep, and it got scared, and it was like, and it bit me like it was nobody's fault, and it was horrible. But I still don't kill spiders because it wasn't their fault. You can see proof, Anna, on my Wednesday lives. When I'm live, you can see it in the right light. It just, my selfie light like kind of makes it disappear because it's such a bright light. But like when I do the outdoor lives, you can see it hardcore. Aw, thanks, Gigi. Matt, I never said it didn't give me superpowers. Whoa. Oh, Duck fans, I have a lot of friends. I used to live in Hollywood. I had a totally different life before this. So I have a lot of, that's just one. I have a lot. So there's no point in guessing. Don't even worry about it. One of them comes in here sometimes and says hi to people. Okay, guys, the next poll is ready. Really, Guinevere? Okay, guys, the next poll is ready. And we have the feral boogers, Jade's injured foot, the hollerin' hottie, the redneck from outer space, and he didn't get away with it. You can vote in the blue box in the top left-hand corner. And you can vote for more than one story. And you can vote up to 50 times. And again, this is Silly Story Title Sunday. These are not the real story titles. They are the silly story titles. We will go back to normal story titles tomorrow. But for right now, we've got the feral boogers, Jade's injured foot, the hollerin' hottie, redneck from outer space, and he didn't get away with it. Who's it gonna be? Jade, that would be so funny. And the winner is, he didn't get away with it. Jade, why'd you pin that, you little shit? Like, I didn't even have to look, Jade, and I knew it was you. The queen of pinning. Justice for Jade's foot. All right, you guys. Yeah, Holly sent me a really funny video earlier of this like creepy banjo playing goat. And she's like, this is so on brand for your newest story. And I was like, oh my God, it is. Hi, Forrest. We miss you. Welcome back. How you been, cutie? All right, guys, the winner is, he didn't get away with it. And I will be right back with that story. So grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax, and welcome to the porch. And if you're new here, my name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore, and I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I'm here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. And I do write all of these stories myself, and you can listen to them whenever you would like on my YT channel or any of the podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you will find me. I also do have a bedtime stories playlist where all of these stories live, and you can hit shuffle or play all and loop it, and you can listen to these all night long. And Brooke, I hope you feel better. I'm so sorry, boo-boo. Get some rest. We love you. What a compliment, Joe Tanya. That's such a compliment. Thank you. You're so sweet. I'm just a siren using her powers for good instead of evil. Well, it's also like sirens are very like, they don't want to fuck, you know, like, I'm gonna kill it, but don't push me. Like, they're not trying to go there, but like, you know, sirens can go either way. So cool, right, Forrest? Plus, here's a fun fact that you guys might not know. Sirens don't only have the power of control with their voice, but they also do with their eyes. How about that? So even if you cover your ears, looking into their eyes. Yep. Skrill, I knew you were going to say that too. Oh, that's okay, Anna. Hope you're safe. Good night, Anna. And by the way, your embroidered shirts were amazing. You're so talented. And yes, that's Eliza. She's the one. He didn't get away with it, is Eliza Crawford. But Skrilla, I only use my powers for good. Duh, that's what I said. Hi, Peter. Welcome in. Hi, Brittany. Brittany, I love that. She said, I got my inadequate flashlight out to try to attract Zaddy. All right, be right back. Quick swig. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, and please, if you guys wouldn't mind hitting that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner, there is a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. That puts my live into your friends' FYPs, and it helps us grow this beautiful porch. You can also undo it and redo it every once in a while, and it just kind of restarts the algorithm. So thank you guys. The repost button helps immensely. So does adding to your stories and sharing with your friends. And thank you for all of the taps. Look at our taps tonight already. Thank you. I'm sure my girl Crystal is somehow behind the tapomania because she is the person that got me 1,000,000 taps on this live 3 times in a row. So shout out to Crystal. Hi, Kim. All right, guys, be right back. Quick swig. Girl, it's beautiful. You're probably going to be working on that for a while because it's just so fun to decorate a new one. I love it. I'm so happy that your ancestors helped you out. Matt, there is a multitude of quick swig gear on the merch site. There's like 3 or 4 different mugs that say it. Matt, I love how you added yourself. Love you. You're like, at Matt, go look at the merch. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the ghost who solved her own murder. The small Appalachian town of Green Hollow was quiet, nestled in the hills of West Virginia. It was the kind of place where everyone knew everyone, and secrets rarely stayed secrets for long. An unsolved murder had left its mark on the land and the memories of those who lived there. It was the story of Eliza Crawford, a young woman found dead under mysterious circumstances in the winter of 1897. Welcome back, Fiona. Her death had been ruled an accident, but whispers of foul play persisted. Some claimed that Eliza's spirit still roamed the hills. But the strangest part of the tale was not just that her ghost lingered. It was that she, from beyond the grave, had a hand in solving the very crime that took her life. The day Eliza Crawford died was bitterly cold. The kind of cold that seeps through your skin and settles deep into your bones. She left her family's farmhouse early in the morning to visit her cousin Margaret, who lived across the valley. Eliza, only 23, was known for her kindness, quick wit, and beauty. Her auburn hair stood out against the snow as she trudged along the path, her breath visible in the crisp air. But Eliza never made it to Margaret's house. It wasn't until nightfall, when her father Jacob Crawford returned home from town, that they realized she was missing. A search party was quickly organized, lanterns bobbing through the dark, as men and women called her name into the freezing night. It was her brother Samuel who found her body. She lay at the bottom of a steep ravine, her limbs twisted unnaturally, her face pale in the moonlight. The doctor was summoned, but his verdict was quick. Eliza had slipped on the icy rocks and fallen to her death. A tragic accident. But something about the scene didn't sit right with Samuel or Margaret. Eliza had walked that path many times before. She knew the terrain too well to simply fall. But the doctor's word was final and the town moved on. Tommy, oh my God, thank you. Tommy, oh my gosh, you're the sweetest. Aw, I love you, Tommy, thanks. You're so sweet. You just made my night. Eliza was buried in the small cemetery on the hill beneath the weeping willow tree. Her death, while mourned, was accepted by most as an unfortunate twist of fate. Except for one person. And that was Margaret. Margaret was the first to notice something was wrong. 3 nights after Eliza's funeral, she woke in the middle of the night to a strange sound, soft like footsteps, on the hardwood floor outside her bedroom. At first, she thought it was her imagination. But then came the whisper. "Margaret." The voice was unmistakable. It was Eliza. Margaret shot up in bed, her heart pounding, and she called out into the dark, but no answer came. The house was still. The only sound was the wind howling outside, rattling the windows. The next morning, Margaret told her mother, but Mrs. Blackwell dismissed it as grief playing tricks on her daughter's mind. Yet the whispers continued each night, growing a little louder and a little clearer. "Margaret, help me." Disturbed but determined, Margaret met with Samuel. He was skeptical at first, but he agreed to visit Eliza's grave with her. When they arrived, the air around the cemetery was unnaturally cold, colder than anywhere else in town. Margaret felt a chill that went beyond the winter wind. They stood in front of Eliza's headstone, and then Margaret heard it again. "Help me." The voice was faint but unmistakable, and Samuel heard it too. His face went pale as he glanced at Margaret. Eliza was trying to tell them something. And Samuel began to believe. He and Margaret returned to the grave frequently, hoping for more clues, more whispers. But Eliza remained elusive. It wasn't until a week later when Margaret was walking alone in the woods near the ravine where Eliza had died, and she experienced a chilling encounter. As she approached the spot where Eliza's body had been found, the air grew thick, as if the atmosphere was charged with energy. The world around her seemed to blur, and for a moment Margaret thought she might faint. But instead of collapsing, she saw something. A vision faint like a memory, playing itself before her eyes. Eliza was there, standing at the edge of the ravine, but she wasn't alone. Margaret couldn't make out, but there was a man with her. And she saw him grab Eliza's arm roughly, and there was a struggle. Eliza tried to pull away, but the man was too strong, and he pushed her. She fell, tumbling down the ravine as the man watched, and then the vision was gone. Margaret gasped, her breath visible in the cold air. The truth of what she had seen burned in her mind. Eliza hadn't fallen at all. She had been pushed. Shaken but resolute, Margaret went to Samuel with what she had seen. And they thought back to Eliza's life, to the people she had known, the men she had courted. And one name came to the forefront: Billy Turner. He had been sweet on Eliza for years, but she had always rejected his advances. and recently his behavior had turned more aggressive. He had been seen arguing with her in town just days before her death. Billy Turner was a hot-headed young man known for his temper and a jealous streak. Tommy. He'd always been obsessed with Eliza, and Samuel and Margaret now feared that his obsession had turned deadly. That night, Eliza's whispers returned, clearer than ever. Billy. It was the confirmation that Margaret needed. Eliza's ghost was pointing them toward her killer. Armed with this revelation, Samuel and Margaret went to the sheriff, but they knew that without solid evidence, their claims would be dismissed as superstition. So, they decided to confront Billy Turner themselves. They found him at a local tavern nursing a drink by the fire. And when they approached him, he sneered at them, his eyes bloodshot. Margaret felt a wave of fear wash over her, but Samuel stood firm. "We know what you did, Billy," Samuel said, his voice steady. "Eliza didn't fall. You pushed her." Billy's face went pale, and for a moment he looked like a cornered animal. Then he laughed a low, bitter sound. "You're crazy. You can't prove a thing." Then Margaret stepped forward, her voice trembling but fierce. "Eliza told us. She told us what you did." Billy's eyes darted around the room, and the weight of guilt settled on his shoulders. His hand shook, and he looked like he might bolt for the door. But Samuel grabbed him by the collar, forcing him to meet his gaze. "Tell the truth, Billy, or I swear we'll make sure everyone knows what you are." For a long moment, Billy said nothing. And then, with a broken sob, he confessed. He had followed Eliza that day, determined to confront her about rejecting him. And in his rage, he had pushed her, not meaning to kill her, but the moment she fell, he panicked and fled. Billy Turner's confession shocked the town, but it also brought a strange sense of relief. Eliza's death was no longer a mystery, and justice, long overdue, was finally served. Billy was arrested, tried, and sentenced for his crime. And as for Eliza's spirit, the whispers stopped right after Billy's confession. Samuel and Margaret visited her grave one last time, and as they stood beneath the weeping willow, they felt a sense of peace that had eluded them for so long. "Eliza," Margaret whispered, "we did it. You're free." The wind rustled through the branches of the willow, and for a brief moment they both felt it. A warmth, a presence, a final goodbye from their beloved Eliza. And then she was gone. And that's the tale of the ghost who solved her own murder, the story of Eliza Crawford, and that is in fact a true story. She did exist, and her cousin did solve her murder by getting him to confess after claiming that she came to her in a dream. Thank you, Daphnia. That's so sweet. Or Daphne, thanks. Yes, so Eliza Crawford is a true one. There's also my favorite one that I grew up learning about as a kid, in the Greenbrier Ghost. These are both Appalachian women that haunted the shit out of the guys that killed them. So let that be a lesson to you. Don't fuck with Appalachian women or we'll haunt your ass and make sure you get justice. Just saying. All right, welcome in, guys. Exactly, Tommy. Informational, not a threat. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I am here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. Thanks, young blood. Welcome. I am here. I do write and record all of these stories myself. And if you want to listen to them when I'm not live, they are available on my YT channel in a bedtime stories playlist. They are also available on all podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you will find me. I also have all of the links in my bio. So grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax, and welcome to the porch. If you like Are You Afraid of the Dark, Goosebumps, Twilight Zone, So Weird, Eerie, Indiana, Hitchcock Hour, anything of the sort, you are in the right place. The stories here are spooky, not scary, so you can relax and fall asleep. They are a nostalgic style of spooky that is reminiscent of the shows I just mentioned. And if that's your vibe, you're in the right place. Also, happy summer solstice to all my fellow witches that are in the live. And anybody, actually, who celebrates the summer solstice. It's one of my favorite transitions of the whole year. You're a wizard. Cool. So is my cat. His name is Merlin. Yeah, right, Matt? Yes. Happy summer solstice, everybody. Yes, Sonia. Feliz solstice. And blessed be to all my witchy sisters and everybody out there. Yes, Kim. Kim's even celebrating with a new altar. Perfect timing. Thank you, Pam. Yes, blessed be witchies. Love you guys. Also, I was talking today about the new coven that is coming out. Who's excited? Also, I was going to ask, since we have a lot of witchies in here, as we all know, because I am so lucky that I am a magnet for the fellow witchies to bring us all together, as we know. So, I wanted to ask you guys a fun, quick question. Who in the chat has ever, when you get emotionally worked up or anything, have you ever been able to make the electricity flicker around you? Just say, yes, I have, or whatever, or no, not ever in the chat. I'm just curious. Just curious how many yeses we're going to get. Just say yes or no. Because I was having this discussion with someone today, and I said it's a very ordinary, regular occurrence for that to happen with most witchies that are tuned on. Okay, we got no's and yeses. Okay, Lady Rose says no. There you go, Abigail. See, a lot of you guys don't even know. And that's the best part is it's just when you step into your power and it's just vibration. It's not even magic. It's just vibration and frequency. The question is if you have ever experienced making electricity flicker when you feel intense emotions. Not bad always, just anything. Have you ever noticed it before? Yep. That is frequency manipulation. That's vibration, and it proves that your kids can, Janae. That's amazing. Because they're probably just they probably haven't closed it off as much yet, you know? We do as adults, and then we have to awaken again, basically. But anyway, I was just wanted to see how many people in the chat would say yes and who would say no. We got a lot of yeses. We got several no's too, but I think more yeses. All right. And I'm going to set up the next poll. Happy summer solstice, happy Sunday. And I'll be right back with us to vote on the next story. Oh my God, Dallas. Peter, the question was if you've ever had electricity flicker when you've had a rush of emotions. Not even bad, just like anything. If you've ever experienced flickering electricity when you've had a rush of strong emotion, good or bad. Yeah, because the electricity is literally a vibrational frequency. It's just energy. So it's not like magic. I just ask because us witchies are tuned in more to our vibrational frequencies, so we're able to manipulate that more, I think. It's not magic, and I promise in like probably not till another fucking 100 years, but someday it will be science and people will know that and they will no longer believe it's magic. We're just like the people right now who thought like you should use leeches and that medicine was magic. We're like the middle of that. So like in another 200 years, they're going to know it's science. Does that make sense? Promise. So they're going to be like in 200 years, they're going to learn about us. They're going to be like, can you guys believe that they thought crystals were like magic? Thank you, Khaleesi. That's so funny, Rachel. She just said, I like that my late husband thought it was magic. He behaved better. Okay, you guys. You can mess with... Wait. I just didn't see Skrilla's comment. Jade pinned over it again. Jade, you drained the battery? Whoa. Whoa. Hi, Papa Tart. Welcome back, cutie. You can mess with electronics and reception when mad. That's what we're talking about. Skrilla, that's literally what we're talking about. So you can do it. That was what I was asking people. Oh, sorry, Jade. Sorry, boo-boo. I didn't see it. I just love you anyway. I was like laughing that you pinned her. Really, Rich? Whoa. Holy sh... I'm going to write that into a story. You can't wear motion or wind-up watches. They screw up... You know what? Maybe that's why I'm stuck here. I used to wear a lot of wind-up watches in the 40s. Maybe that's how I got here. That would make a lot of sense. Because in the 40s, you know, we used to have to wind up our watches like every day. Did you know that? They didn't just run. They had a battery, but you had to like wind them every day, your watch, so that it kept going. Fun fact. And maybe that's what happened to me. Maybe that's how I got here. Damn. I need to find one of those watches again. Hi, crafty little devil. I need to find one of those watches again and maybe twist it the other way. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, the poll is ready. We have the feral boogers. We have he maintained nothing. We have I know what you did on my porch. We have the redneck from outer space. And we have the creepy carousel. And no, these are not the real story names if you're new. It is Silly Story Name Sunday. So these are the silly names and not the real ones. But you can guess what stories they are. So you can vote in the blue box. There it is. Top left-hand corner just popped up. And we have the feral boogers. He maintained nothing. I know what you did on my porch. The redneck from outer space and the creepy carousel. Who's it gonna be? Really, AK Parker? You had a bunkmate during basic training who was able to stop the second. See? And that's the thing is there are, once you ask like I just did, so many people. Yes, I am a time traveler XTR and I'm trapped here and it sucks. Well, I'm actually not a time traveler. I'm just like, I'm really old. I'm just really old. Have you ever seen the movie Age of Adelaide? It's kind of like that. See how he said his bunkmate could do that? That's just somebody who's stepped into their like has been able to channel their energy, right? That is someday I don't think we will call that magic, but right now it still is to us, just like physics was during Tesla's age, right? So that's really cool, and thanks for sharing. I love that, and I love that he knew he could do it and he shared it with you. Because you know my ancestors were definitely accused of witchcraft in like 3 different countries for about 500 years, and they didn't show a lot of that shit to people because, again, they thought it was magic. And we will someday prove that it's just frequency manipulation because watches contain quartz. That's how they're regulated. And those are crystals. So, just saying. Oh my God, feral boogers and he maintained nothing. Got no votes. It really creeped you out. Aww. Well, I hope I just made you feel better because I don't think it's something creepy or magic at all. I think it's actually frequency. alignment and manipulation, like with the, like, and because watches and clocks literally have quartz in them to make them regulate. Does that make sense? And we are vibrational beings too. So maybe he was just high vibrational enough to affect it, which is really cool. So I hope we don't think it's scary. Okay, and the winner is I Know What You Did on My Porch. And you guys are going to get this title once I pull up the picture. You're going to understand. At least some of you might. Some of you might be too young. I don't know. We'll see. Be right back. Oh my gosh, April. April, thank you so much. April, thanks for all the hand hearts. You're so sweet. Right, Beefy? If only I had a story about Tesla and the magic of crystals and how it's actually science. Wouldn't that be crazy? Baby hands. Thank you so much, April. That is just so... You just made my night. What are baby hands? What? You're working on your night off. Oh, I'm sorry, Andrew. Are you allowed to eat the donuts? Do you have like a set number you're allowed to eat? Or are you not allowed to eat them at all? Are you allowed to eat as many as you want? Do you have maple ones today? Just curious. Holly, me too. I can hear the buzzing of lights places and the frequency of like that no one else can hear. Like and I'll be like, do you guys hear that buzzing? They're like, no. I'm like, what do you mean? I Know What You Did on My Porch is the man in the red coat. Yay! Wait, what, Andrew? You have a 22-pound bucket of maple frosting? My God. That's like what I want for my birthday. Or like any day. Oh my God. Yum. Yum. Rachel, you were in the predecessor to the GATE program and you linked it to the buzzing. That's interesting. You and a cake? Is that an option? I didn't know that was an option. Wait, what about giant cookies, buckets of cookies and frosting? My God, what? Yeah, Sonia, that's why. What? What, Jade? I went to his crotch and I missed it? Damn it! Thank you for the retro headset, mic drop. Yeah, I wonder if the gifts for the head would work on this dude. They do, Jade, yeah. I notice why that is, because they were testing frequencies on us. That's why. Because frequency is everything. Yeah, we know what he did on the porch. I know, mic drop. That's so funny. It went right to his crotch. Right to the other head. See, Skrilla, look how many people are in here saying the same thing. You said, oh, it was just a hearing test. Okay. Also, thank you to everybody tapping the screen and reposting with that little tiny share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner. There's a yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other. It says repost. You did a deep dive, Skrilla? Uh-oh, what'd you find out? What I told you? Have I ever blown out light bulbs, April? Yes, I have. But not on purpose. Just by walking by? No, I have not. Do you do that? Because that's pretty cool. Good morning in Norway, Jennifer. I am so... And yes, blessed solstice, sister. Hello. Good morning. Happy solstice. All right, quick swig, and I will be back with the man in the red coat. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the man in the red coat. Hi, Ellie. Hi, Stephanie. Thank you, Menace. Hi, Songbird. Yes, Teza, it's solstice everywhere. And this is when it's this, well, the summer solstice, Teza, is the first day of summer. And then we have the fall equinox. And then we have the winter solstice. And then we have the spring equinox. Yes, and it's flipped. So right now, Australia just started winter. Yes, Sonia, I know everyone loves for fall. I do not. I do not share that love for fall. No, I already said there's the fall. There's the fall equinox, the autumn equinox, autumnal equinox. Really, Catherine? That sounds amazing. One of the porch pals is camping at Serpent Mound for the summer solstice tonight or today, and gets to watch the sunrise over the Serpent Mound because the ancient mound builder sites all align with the solstices and the equinoxes, in case you guys weren't aware. But, just further proving they were not primitive people and they knew more than we do, because we can't even align shit with the solstices now. So, happy solstice again to all of you out there who celebrate it the way I do. And if you don't yet, maybe look into it. Maybe reconnect with the earth and you might enjoy it. Oh my God, Sonia, I love that. Oh my God, mourning doves are so cute. And thank you, fellow animal lover, for taking on that baby. I would do the same thing. I love that you spent your solstice painting. Perfect way to send it. Skrilla. What? Thank you, Deborah. I love that one. It's so cute. It was December and I was staying at my aunt's old farmhouse in the middle of nowhere. You know the kind of place, creaky wooden floors, drafty windows, and a silence so thick, it feels like it's pressing down on you. My aunt had passed away earlier that year, and I'd volunteered to clean out the house before it was sold. I thought it would be peaceful. A chance to get away from the city and clear my head. But I was wrong. Peter, yeah, I'm interested. Holy shit. Yeah. The first few days were fine. The house was cold, but the fireplace worked. And I spent my days sorting through old photo albums and boxes of knickknacks. At night, I'd sit by the fire with a book, listening to the wind howl outside. It was lonely, but not scary. Not yet. Then on the fourth night, something changed. I was in the kitchen making tea when I heard it. A knock at the front door. 3 sharp raps, like someone was impatient. My heart skipped a beat. The house was miles from the nearest town and it was past 10 p.m. Who would be out here? I crept to the door and I peered through the peephole. And standing on the porch was a man in a long red coat. His face was pale, almost ghostly. And his eyes, I can't really explain it, but they were wrong. They were too dark. he was smiling. But it was not a friendly smile. It was a terrifying smile, the kind that made my stomach twist. I didn't open the door. I stood there frozen until he knocked again. And this time it was louder and more insistent. I shouted for him to go away, my voice trembling. And then the knocking stopped. For a moment, there was silence. And then I heard his voice, low and smooth. He said he just needed a little help, that he was cold, and he asked if I would let him in. I didn't answer. I backed away from the door, my heart pounding, and I grabbed my phone to call the police, but there was no signal, of course. The landline wasn't working either, and I was completely cut off. I spent the rest of the night sitting in the living room, clutching a fireplace poker, staring at the door. He didn't knock again, but I could feel him out there waiting. The next morning, I convinced myself that maybe I'd just overreacted, or maybe it was a prank. But when I opened the door, there were footprints in the snow leading up to the porch, but not away. I tried to shake it off. I told myself it was nothing. But that night, he came back. This time, I was in the living room reading by the fire. When I heard the knock, 3 sharp raps just like before. My blood turned to ice, and I grabbed the fireplace poker and I crept to the door. Through the peephole, I saw him again. The same pale face. The same dark eyes. And the same red coat. He said that he was cold and that he just needed a little help. His voice was soft and pleading, but there was something underneath it. Something that made my skin crawl. I shouted at him to leave, to go away, but he didn't move. He just stood there, smiling, that awful grin. I didn't sleep that night. I sat by the fire, staring at the door, just waiting for him to break in. But he didn't. He just stood there all night, knocking, every hour on the hour, like clockwork. By the 3rd night, I was starting to lose it. I hadn't slept in days, and the constant knocking was driving me nuts. I thought about leaving, but my car wouldn't start. The battery was dead. Great. I must have left on the interior light when I was unloading all the empty boxes. And the snow was too deep to walk through. I was trapped. That night, he didn't knock. Instead, I heard his voice coming from inside the house. "I'm here." I spun around, my heart racing, and the living room was empty. But I could feel him like a presence in the air. I grabbed the fire poker and I searched the house room by room. But there was no one there. When I got back to the living room, I saw something that made my blood run cold. On the mantle, where I had left a photo of my aunt, there was now a single red rose. I don't know how he got in. I don't know how he left the rose. But I knew I couldn't stay there any longer. I bundled up in my coat and my boots, and I ran out the back door into the snow. The cold bit in my skin, but I didn't care. I had to get away. I didn't get far. The snow was up to my knees, and the wind was howling, blinding me with icy flakes. I stumbled and I fell, my hands sinking into the freezing snow. And that's when I heard it. The sound of footsteps crunching behind me through the snow. I turned, and there he was, the man standing a few feet away, his red coat stark against the white snow. And then he tells me that I shouldn't have run. I scrambled to my feet and I ran again, but he was faster, and he grabbed my arm, and his grip was like iron, and he pulled me close. His face was inches from mine, and his dark eyes were boring into me. He said he just needed a little help. I don't know how I got away. Maybe it was adrenaline, or maybe he let me go. All I know is that I broke free and I ran, stumbling through the snow until I reached the road. A passing truck driver found me and took me to the nearest town. The police went and searched the property, but they didn't find anyone. No footsteps, no red coat, no red rose, nothing. But I know what I saw, and I know what happened. So, if you're ever alone in the middle of nowhere, and you hear 3 knocks at your door at night, don't answer. And that's the tale of the man in the red coat. Or for tonight's title, the I Know What You Did on My Porch. And sorry to my viewers over on Twitch NYT for the delay in the background change. I am very sorry. Won't happen again. Thanks for hanging in there and not complaining. Love you guys. Jenny said I stopped breathing. Then I did my job. I'm just kidding. Thanks, Sandy, for the hand hearts. Thank you, Deborah. They just get better and better, I promise. We get really attached to these stories because the more you listen, the more you catch, and you get kind of a flow with them, and then I feel like they get better. It might just be me because I wrote them, but I feel like they get better. Plus, the summer solstice just started, so my vibration is like the highest it's going to be all year. So I'm vibing tonight on the reading and everything. I'm vibing. Jade, thanks for the roses. Misbehaving, thank you for the singing frogs. And Songbird, thanks for the club power. Thanks, Songbird, I love you. Mochi slapped you off the porch. Thanks, Lonnie. I love that. Yeah, there's something new almost every time. Yeah, it does feel electric, Sonia, 100%. I love this solstice, and it's just, yes, very electric. And if you're new here, welcome in. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I am here me too, Deborah, extra energized. All the witches are like pulsing right now. We're all just like vibing, like vibrating. I am here every single night from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. This is original content. I do write and record all of these stories myself. And if you would like to listen to them when I'm not live, they are all available for you to listen to on my YT channel, as well as all of the podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you will find me. Also, all of the links are in my bio. And no, I don't want to check out your pussy, but thank you for going away. You silly, silly weirdo. And thank you, Kim. And we get those all the time. My mods are usually just so quick that I don't catch them. And they're quick so that I don't do what I just did and say, no, I don't want to look at your pussy, because I called them out. But my mods are usually so quick they catch them before I even spot them. But they come in every night, a couple times. They're just bot accounts. Yeah, Mary, exactly. You don't usually see them because my mods are so fast. But that one slipped through for a few minutes to where I caught it too. And yes, Peter, I believe you 1,000,000%. And why not, Teza? I am silly. I'll be as silly as I want to be. Good one, Jade. Yeah, Kim's new solstice altar just amped her shit up. Thank you, Matt, for the money gun. Hi, Spooky Bestie. Hey, Chris. Hi, Lexbat. Oh my God, Lexbat. Hi, Lexbat. Oh my God, long time no see, cutie booty. Hi. Oh my God, it's been like a year. Hi, Lexbat. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Hi, Code Red. Who's Dean, Tessa? Who's Dean? I don't know who Dean is. Matt, look at making it rain, Matt. Thank you. Chris, thanks for the hand hearts. Bell End? I don't know who that is. Hi, Code Red. Welcome back. I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh my goodness. Thank you for all the hand hearts, Chris. Happy solstice. Hi, Toaster. Darren, thank you. Oh, hi, Darren. Long time no see. All right, guys. I'm going to set up the next poll for us to vote for the next story, and I'll be right back. April, thank you for the hand hearts. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. Yes, Darren, welcome to the porch. We're glad to have you here. Good, Toaster. How are you? Yes, the vibes are very cool. Welcome to the porch. What's your toaster full or toaster fall? Toasters fall. Got it. Welcome in, guys. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. We also get silly in here and spooky. Toasters fall. Thank you for the follow. So guys, grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax, check out the shooting stars, and welcome to the porch. If you guys like Are You Afraid of the Dark, Goosebumps, So Weird, Twilight Zone, anything like that, you are in the right place. I also do write all of these stories myself, and you can listen to them whenever you want on my YT channel or any of the podcast streaming sites whenever I'm not live. Thank you. It's our porch. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit down, Toaster. And guys, I'm going to set up the next poll right now, and we will vote for the next story. Be right back. Welcome to the porch. Happy solstice. Okay, guys, the next poll is ready. We have... Yes, Toaster Fall, I'm so glad you're here. Hi, Cole. Welcome. Welcome to all the new porch pals, you guys. You guys just found the coolest community on TikTok. You should be happy because we're about the most high vibration, chill as fuck group of people you're ever gonna find. So your FYP just gave you a little winky wink and said, here you go, because you just found the best place on TikTok, and we're here every single night at 10 p.m. until about 1 in the morning, just chilling, snoozing to spooky shit and hanging out. So welcome. Welcome. Hi, nourished body. How you doing? I love nurses. Thank you for what you do. Rachel said, abso-freaking-lutely. And then Mary's over here like, Khaled. We the best. We the best. Hi, Just Dave. Hi, Darren. All right, guys. Our queen. I love you, Misbehavin'. Queen, Supreme, whatever you want to call it. All right, guys, we have the poll ready to vote. Yeah, she's like DJ Khaled. She said, we the best. Okay, we have, and this is spooky, or this is silly story title Sunday. So these are not the real story titles. We will go back to the real story titles tomorrow, but these are the silly story titles that I make up. So you guys won't, we're not a cult, lovely. So you guys won't probably understand these story titles, and tomorrow they'll be different, but this is just some silly story titles, just on Sundays and Saturdays. So thank you. Hi, Eric. Thank you, Dante. I appreciate the beautiful manifesting crystal ball. Okay, guys, we have, for the silly story titles, we have the Feral Boogers. We have the Dagger Dame. Thank you, Code Red. I love that one. We have the Froggy Freak. We have the Van from Hell. And we have the Little Psychos. I'm trying here, you guys, but I've run out of silly story titles. Feral Boogers, the Dagger Dame, the Froggy Freak, the Van from Hell, and the Little Psychos. You can vote in the blue box in the top left-hand corner. You can vote up to 50 times. And you can vote for more than one story. Who's it gonna be? And I have no idea who Dean is, Tessa. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm literally coming up with these silly titles on the fly. I'm like, I think I've reached my bandwidth for the night. They're not very good anymore. Jade, you're so clever. Oh, you're right, lovely. I'm sorry. You know which one it is too, don't you? You sure do. Because we just talked about the spelling. Me too, Michelle. I think the voting is so fun. I'm like it's so much fun to me. That's weird. Wait, which one only has one vote? Oh, the Van from Hell. One vote. And the Little Psychos win. You know what, Mace? You're not the only one. People have been saying that tonight. I don't think it's showing up for everybody. Dagger Dame was Spearfinger. I literally couldn't think of anything else. And I pulled from my 1940s life. I was like, the Dagger Dame. I pull out of my other lives all the time. Okay, and then the Little Psychos. If you guessed Puckwudgies, you were correct. Thanks, Mackenzie. Puckwudgies are the Little Psychos. Bring me my fizzy water, Beefy. My fizzy water. Beefy loves when I say fizzy water. It slipped out once because I try to hide that I'm so old, and I said fizzy water. And Beefy was like, what? And I was like, nothing, never mind. Never mind. The Froggy Freak was the crawl space. And yeah, last night was the cantaloupe craniums. Yeah, my fizzy water is, yep, exactly. It's a pop. Just mind your business. You don't want a knuckle sandwich. Except for mine was more like, I don't know, Big Daddy. You should make him mad when he gets mad. The cantaloupe craniums, I know. So funny. You don't want to see him when he gets mad. Okay, it's Little Psychos, which is the Pugwudgies. Yes, Crystal, you're the best. Yeah, bam, right in the kisser. He'll give you one right in the kisser. Not gonna like it. Yeah, Peter, that's happened to a few people with the poll tonight. I'm so sorry. I don't know why. All right, guys, be right back. A real hoot, Skrilla, a real hoot. Yeah, I'm walking here. No, he's a real tall glass of water. There's Kim's favorite cryptid. Kim goes, ah, there they are. My precious. It does look like Smeagol. Also, this is the only story I've ever written where I get hurt in the story, and you guys did not like it. And this story has never won a poll again. The only time it's been read is the week it premiered. And then after that, you guys said no. And I asked why you guys don't like this story, and several of you guys said because I get hurt in it, which I think is just about the sweetest, cutest thing ever. So I know you guys are so protective. It's adorable. So I don't write myself getting hurt anymore. It was a one time. I gave it a whirl, and you guys said no thanks. We don't like you getting hurt. So this is the only story where I get hurt. I know, Jade. She said, careful, your magic is strong. I know, it's especially strong right now. It's very strong. And thank you, April. I love the star map of Polaris. And Joe, thanks for the cozy cryptids and Mace. And April, thanks for the blue melody. And Joe, thanks for the hand hearts. I appreciate you guys. And Tina, thank you for your heart me. Quick swig and I'll be right back with the Pugwudgies. Yeah, right, Jade. Yeah, right, Jade. This is her favorite because I get hurt in it, and she gets hurt in the story I wrote her in, and she wants me to get her back. Breakfast, thank you. We all do. We are all, this is like in our heads when we're doing laundry, when we're at places. And this song is just like our piece. Of course I saw that comment, Jade. you little shit. Hi, Twana. Yeah, can I sing it? Okay, yeah. I'll sing the song. It's like this. Ready? This is for Scarlett. Is she in here tonight? I have to wait till it comes back again. The part that I can. Where's Scarlett? We need to invite her in here. Here it is. Ready? I can't. That's what I hear around my, like, I'll be like doing chores and like, like snapping, dancing around, like stuck in my head. A mosquito. No, not really in my head. I just do it audibly. That was a lie. I do it audibly. I'm literally going, yeah, Robin, don't worry. Everybody does it. I don't know where Scarlett is tonight, but every time Scarlett comes to the live, that's the first thing she types in the chat is her version of spelling out the I'm here to make you guys laugh and sleep. We're silly and spooky here. See, Deborah said she'll be making coffee and she'll just start singing it. So did I, Jade. Right? Yeah, everybody says they sing it all the time in their head. Yeah, I don't know how she spells it either, but she spells it out. I wish she was here. Scarlett comes in and spells that. Oh my goodness, thank you so much, Misbehaving, for the sour, buddy. Your husband just said, what the fuck was that? Sorry, Rochelle's husband. Just me. I'm not dangerous. I'm just weird. Hi, P. Watson. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Palace Society. This is the tale of the Puckwudgies. Jade, you're going to put that in your bio. I'm not dangerous. I'm just weird. Twana said, yo. Oh, P. Watson, you didn't realize that's my secret to getting so many followers is most of them were people who came in while I was doing that. Exactly, breakfast. submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the Pukwudgie. Wait, what? Bradley? He said, "No, honey, I'm not watching porn. I'm just listening to Porch Lore." That's so good. Most people outside of New England have never heard of a Pukwudgie. And that is probably for the best. Yeah, you're right, Rochelle. Let's put some keywords in the chat, guys. Because unlike the more marketable monsters like the Bigfoots and the Mothman, the Pukwudgie was never treated in the old stories as something mysterious or majestic. It was treated as malicious, cruel, petty. The kind of thing that did not hunt because it was hungry or territorial, but because it enjoyed making human beings suffer. The legend comes primarily from the Wampanoag folklore in Massachusetts and the surrounding northeastern tribes. And similar forest trickster entities appear across Algonquin traditions under different names and variations. Depending on the telling, the Pukwudgies were once friendly towards humans. Small, magical woodland beings with gray skin, oversized ears, and glowing eyes. And the ability to appear and disappear at will. Then, according to the stories, something changed. Some say humans mistreated them. Some say they just became jealous of humanity. And some say they were never friendly to begin with. Whatever the reason, the legends all agree on one thing. Pukwudgies hate people. They lure travelers off paths. They imitate voices. They sabotage camps. They poison with arrows. And they shove people from cliffs. They've been known to appear at the edges of firelight with yellow eyes and mocking smiles. And unlike many folkloric creatures, the stories about them rarely end with escape. They usually end with someone vanishing. Now, Massachusetts is full of spooky stories and old folklore. Witch trials, sea serpents, the Bridgewater Triangle, and Pukwudgies. So I decided to take a trip to visit my friend Anthony for a long weekend in Massachusetts. I was looking forward to visiting Plymouth, seeing the old colonial sites, doing the tourist thing. But there was also another site that I was determined to see while I was there. The Freetown Fall River State Forest. A place with enough paranormal lore attached to it that people call it one of the most haunted forests in America. Disappearances, UFOs, cult rumors, cryptid reports, and of course, Pukwudgies. Anthony laughed when I mentioned it, and he told me that if he was going to take me into those woods, I was not allowed to whistle, not follow any voices, not acknowledge anything moving in the brush, and under absolutely no circumstances was I allowed to leave any food behind. According to his grandmother, leaving food in the woods was considered an offering. I thought it was charming. I love regional superstitions. The sort of folklore every place develops when enough people get lost in the forest over the centuries. The drive there through the forest was beautiful in that deeply old New England way. The trees were taller and older, and the woods felt denser. It was late afternoon when we arrived, and the parking lot near one of the trailheads was empty. By then, the sun had hidden behind a thick layer of clouds. Anthony had brought a backpack with snacks, water, flashlights, and enough practical hiking gear to suggest that he actually took this very seriously. I, on the other hand, brought a hoodie and a backpack filled with delusional confidence. The first hour was normal. Honestly, it was peaceful. Good night, Ivan. The trail wound through pines and scrub oaks, over roots thick as my wrist, and past glacial boulders draped in moss. Anthony pointed out places where locals claimed strange things had happened. A pond where people supposedly saw lights under the water. A clearing where a hiker claimed something small chased him through the trees. A narrow ravine where a teenager allegedly disappeared in the 80s. And then we found the structure. It stood 20 or 30 feet off the trail. Kind of a crude stick hut, 3 feet high maybe, built from branches leaned together in a cone shape. Decorated with stones, bones, feathers, and strips of cloth tied to the branches. My first thought was that local kids must have made it. My second thought was that this was creepy as hell and I was going to take a picture of it. So I bent down near the structure, snapped a few photos while Anthony made some joke about paying tribute to the tiny goblins. And then the woods went silent. Not gradually, immediately. No birds, no wind, no insects. Just silence so complete, it made my ears ring. Anthony's face went pale and he grabbed my hand and said that we needed to get out of here now. So we started speed walking. And then we picked up the pace just a little faster. And then fast enough that it wasn't really walking anymore. Okay, we were running. And after maybe 3 minutes of hoofing it out of there, we heard high-pitched laughter. It was coming from somewhere behind us in the trees. I stopped. Anthony did not, and he grabbed my arm and nearly dragged me out. He knew that my curiosity would be the death of me. And then the laughter came again, this time closer. It sounded like something trying to imitate the laughter of a child. It was horrifying. Finally, after a while, we slowed down to catch our breath. We didn't speak after that. The trail back seemed longer than before. Felt like we were walking for ages. And then came the first pebble. It struck the back of my shoulder, light, almost playful. I turned around and there was nothing. And then another pebble hit the dirt in front of us. And then another and another. All thrown from different directions. Something moved between the trees to our left. Short, gray, and fast. I froze, and for half a second, I saw it clearly. Hi, Lorna. Miss you, love you. It was barely 3 feet tall. Skin the color of whetstone, long arms, a large head, a wide mouth stretched into something like a grin, and its eyes reflected gold. And then it darted behind a tree. Anthony looked at me and calmly said, "Run." We bolted through the forest. Branches whipped my face and roots caught my shoes. And all around us I could hear that laughter. Sometimes ahead of us, sometimes behind us. Sometimes so close it sounded like it came from right beside my ear. At one point, something small and hard struck the back of my knee and nearly sent me. Another hit my shoulder blade. Then something sharp sliced across the side of my neck. Not deep, but enough to burn. Enough that when I touched it, my fingers came away bloody. We burst into the parking lot at full sprint. I had never been so relieved to see a car in my life. We threw ourselves into Anthony's car, locked the doors, and sat there, gasping for air. Nothing emerged from the trees. No movement, no figures, no laughter. Just the dark tree line, perfectly still and silent. I tried to laugh it off. Adrenaline does strange things. People see strange things and panic. Maybe we had spooked ourselves. Anthony just drove. And neither of us noticed until halfway home that my neck had started swelling. By the time we reached the house, I was dizzy and nauseous. My skin burned, and the cut on my neck had turned an angry black around the edges. We ended up in urgent care, and the doctor said it looked like some kind of natural poison around the wound. He cleaned it, gave me antibiotics, and sent me home. Pukwudgies might be small, but I'll never go back into that forest again. And if you ever find yourself in the forests of southern Massachusetts and you come across a tiny hut made of sticks and bones just off the trail, do yourself a favor. Run. And that's the tale of the Pukwudgies, also known as the Little Psychos. And welcome in, everybody. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore, and I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I'm here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Campfires are my thing. Me too. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Hi, Live, Laugh, Love. Good. How are you, cutie? Trent, thank you for the follow and welcome to the porch. I do write and record all of these stories myself, and they are available to listen to whenever you would like. Thank you, Anton. I appreciate you so much. You can listen whenever you would like on my YT channel, as well as all of the podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you will find me. And all the links are in my bio. Menes, I think it's Menes. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. And thank you, Toaster. Hi, Mary. guys, also tomorrow, Skrilla, you're cute. Also, tomorrow, Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I do a live premiere over on my YT channel of the new story of the week, because I premiere a new story every single Monday. And so if you want to join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live, we do a live chat. It's really fun. We get a first listen to the new story of the week. And this week's story, hi Venus, this week's story is one that I grew up with. It is folklore that I grew up hearing, and it was actually folklore that was practiced and in place all around where I grew up. It was folklore that I saw every day of my life, basically, growing up. So I'm excited to share it with you guys and see if any of you guys have ever heard of this one. Danny, thank you so much. Happy birthday, and thank you for introducing your girlfriend to the page too. Everybody wish our new porch pal, Danny, a happy birthday. Aw, happy birthday. Oh my God, not the hood leprechaun. I'll never forget that sketch. What's my favorite story to read? Well, that's a good question. My favorite story is The Hitchhiker, but to read, I'm not sure. I know, how sweet. Hi, Bam Bam. Thank you so much, Danny. Welcome and happy birthday. Crafter Girl, thank you so much. All right. And you guys know what time it is? Yes, it is a good one. It's my favorite. It is grilled cheese time. If you are new here to the porch, we end every live with this story because it was voted for so often and people request it so much that they didn't want me to end the live until I read it. So I just decided to make it the last story every night, kind of as a joke at first, and then it stuck. And now it has become a tradition, a beloved tradition. We have favorite characters. There is an entire section of my merch store dedicated just to this story. So if you haven't heard it before, this is a beloved classic at this point, and sit back and relax. And if you like grilled cheese, I highly recommend making one, because by the end of this story, you will in fact be craving grilled cheese. And yes, as Justin just wrote in the chat, I do have merch here at this site, and lots of it is based, an entire section is based off of this story. So get ready for the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. I'll be right back. Beefy said, just try to leave without reading it. I dare ya. That's so cute, Breakfast. That's so cute. You made little metal cups of ketchup. I love that. I know I did try once, James, and all hell broke loose. Oh my God. Was that a dinosaur with a hat? Scorella? What? Did you guys see that dinosaur? He was a disco dinosaur. Daddy's home. Did you guys see that? He had sunglasses on. Oh my God, the capybara. Stop. Sherry. Papa Capybara. That's so cute. I should have made that my goal today because it's Father's Day. Thank you, Skrilla. That dinosaur was really cute. I've never seen that before. The Papa Capybara, did you guys see that? The baby was running around him while he was reading a newspaper. Oh my God, Sherry, that was so cute. Thank you, guys. Sweet dreams, live, laugh, love. It just started pouring here. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. See there, Michelle spelled it. She did it. Claudia, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the porch. I'm not usually the kind of person who pulls over on back roads at night. Not unless I absolutely have to, CJ. CJ. But that night, something about the storm, the long drive, and that growling pit in my stomach convinced me otherwise. I was hungry. It was late October, and I was headed back to campus after a weekend visit with my friends in North Carolina. I had a midterm on Monday, and my plan had been to drive straight through, 5 hours, no stops. But then came the rain. One of those cold, slanted, whispery rains that creeps into your bones and makes the windshield wipers sound like a heartbeat. I had taken the wrong exit trying to bypass traffic, and I ended up on a 2-lane back road, surrounded by nothing but pine trees and power lines. And that's when I saw the neon sign. SYCAMRE Diner. The O in Sycamore was flickering like it hadn't worked right in years. But the rest was lit up in a cherry red neon. a tiny beacon in the middle of nowhere. I figured I'd grab a quick bite, maybe some coffee, check my map and get back on the highway. But I should have just kept driving. I should have known something was off the second I stepped inside. No, it really did just start raining here too. You're right with both. The bell over the door jingled, but not like a normal bell. It made this sharp metallic ping that echoed longer than it should have. The air inside was warm, almost too warm, and it smelled like grilled onions and pancake syrup. The place looked like it had been yanked straight from 1957. Checkerboard floor, red vinyl booths, a long counter with spinning stools, even a jukebox in the corner that looked like it hadn't worked in decades. And the people? They all stopped and looked at me the second I walked in. Not in a rude way, just quiet. Like they weren't expecting me. Like I had walked in the middle of a sentence that no one wanted to finish. A waitress, tall, with a beehive hairdo and a light blue uniform, smiled and waved me over. Good night, Jade, love you. You get caught in the rain, sweetheart, she said, handing me a laminated menu. I nodded, still trying to shake off that weird feeling. Yeah, the highway's a mess. She chuckled and patted my shoulder. Well, you're safe here. Sycamore's always open for travelers. I sat down at a corner booth and the vinyl creaked. And I remember the jukebox shifted songs by itself and started playing some slow doo-wop ballad that I didn't recognize. I looked around and everyone looked normal. Sort of. There was a trucker with a thick gray beard drinking coffee at the counter. A young couple whispering to each other in a booth by the jukebox. And an older woman stirring tea like she was lost in thought. But they all had the same look in their eye, like they were there but also somewhere else. Like they were watching me out of the corner of their eyes even when they were looking down. The waitress came back with coffee, strong, hot, and surprisingly good. And I ordered a grilled cheese with fries. Simple, safe, thank you breakfast. She wrote it down with one of those clicky pens and said, "Don't worry, it's on the house tonight." And that was my second red flag. No diner just gives food away. While I waited, I took out my phone to check the map. No signal, and I mean nothing. No bars, no Wi-Fi, not even GPS. Just a blank screen with a spinning wheel. Thank you, Skrilla. Those are cute. I glanced out the foggy window and the storm was still going. But now the wind had picked up. I could see the power lines swaying like jump ropes in the dark. But the diner stayed perfectly lit, not even a flicker. The food came fast, too fast, like under 5 minutes, but it looked amazing. Golden bread, gooey cheese, crispy fries with a little metal cup of ketchup on the side. I took a bite. Delicious. I mean, I've eaten at a lot of diners, greasy spoons, college joints, and roadside shacks, but this was hands down the best grilled cheese I've ever had. The fries were perfect and the coffee never ran out. Every time I took a sip, it was somehow full again. Seahorses, I love them. Thanks, Skrilla. I was halfway through the sandwich when the trucker got up to leave. He walked right past my table, nodded once, and whispered, "Don't stay past midnight." That's all he said. Just that. What? But he was already out the door. The waitress gave me a tight smile and walked over, collecting his empty mug. Old Earl, he's always saying weird stuff. Just ignore him. But I couldn't. Something about his voice stuck with me. Something about the way he looked at me. Not like I was a customer, but like I was in danger. I checked the clock over the register. 11:42. I figured I had just enough time to finish my fries, grab the check, and head out. I still had at least 3 hours left on the road. But when I stood up, the lights flickered just once, and then again. And then everything in the diner stopped moving. The couple by the jukebox froze mid-sentence. The woman with the tea stopped stirring, her spoon hanging in midair. The waitress, her hand reached out for a mug, just stopped. CJ. Like someone hit pause on the entire scene. I took a step back and the jukebox buzzed, glitched, and restarted a new track. I could still move, but no one else could. And then I heard it. Not music, not a storm, a voice. Not coming from anyone I could see. Just a whisper that seemed to echo from the walls themselves. I backed toward the door, my heart hammering in my chest, and I turned the knob. Locked. Of course it was locked. I tried the windows, but they were sealed shut. I started banging on the glass and shouting. No one was outside, just wind and rain, and that flickering red sign. SYCAMRE. I turned back toward the dining room, and everyone was gone. Not frozen anymore, just gone. The booths were empty, no plates, no crumbs, no mugs. No sign that anyone had ever even been there, except for my plate. Still warm, and still have eaten. And then I saw the waitress. She was standing by the kitchen doors, her silhouette backlit by flickering fluorescent light. Her face was wrong. The same smile, but her eyes were empty, black and endless, like someone had painted over them. "You shouldn't be here, honey," she said in that same cheerful voice. "Not yet," I stumbled back, knocking over a chair as she took one slow step toward me. The others, they were waiting, but you just wandered in. She raised a hand, and the walls began to shimmer. Literally shimmer, like heat waves on asphalt. The checkered floor rippled, and the red booths started to fade, becoming outlines and then shadows and then nothing. And then I saw it. Underneath the illusion, it was charred wood, cracked tile, broken beams, and black soot. Like the diner had burned down long ago. I ran. I don't even remember how I got out. 1 second, I was inside. And the next, I was on the side of the road, soaked to the bone and gasping for air. You notice that, CJ? That's one of the words I have a hard time saying. My car was still there, parked on gravel that didn't even look like a lot anymore. Just weeds and puddles. No neon sign. I know it's every time because I have a hard time saying that word, not without my accent. No neon sign, no glowing windows, just nothing. I drove back to campus that night in silence. No music. No Porch Lore podcast. I kept glancing in the rear-view mirror, half expecting to see that red neon flicker back to life. I didn't tell anyone. Not for weeks. Not until I finally looked up Sycamore Diner on a local history site. And I found it. It burned to the ground in 1972. A gas leak. The whole place went up at midnight. Everyone inside was killed. 5 patrons, a waitress, and a cook. The photo in the article. The same waitress. Or the same checkerboard floor, the same red booths, and the same neon sign. SYCAMORE. And in the corner of the photo, that same waitress, smiling. I never took that back road again. I don't even drive at night anymore if I can help it. And every time I see a neon diner sign, something in me flinches just a little. Because I know I was there. And I know I wasn't supposed to be. But the part that keeps me up sometimes, the part that really makes my stomach turn, that was the best damn grilled cheese I've ever had. And I didn't even pay for it. And that's the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. Angela, I love your commentary. You're so cute. Food was free. I love Angela's commentary. And yes, CJ, you are correct. Good ears. Yes, there are a few words that no matter how much I took non-regional diction training, I still say with a southern accent because I cannot say them the correct way. One of those words is tile. Cracked tile. I can't say, I'm like tile. I don't know how other people say it. Tile. Cracked tile. Towel. I can't say it. Tile is how I say it. Tile. Yep. Cracked tile. And then another one is, if you guys notice when I say hostile. I don't know how to say like I don't know how other people say it, but I say hostile. Like he was real hostile. But I don't think that's but I can't, it's just like tile. I can't say, you guys say eagle or something like hostile, tile. I don't know. I can't say it. The same way you say tile. I can't. And so good ears, CJ, because you caught it. I do actually, my accent slips out in a part of that story that is not supposed to be accented. And he noticed. Tile. Yeah, I don't know how to say it. So good ears, because yes, I do say cracked whatever, or cracked towel, and that is not supposed to be in the waitress's accent. That is in fact my accent. Oh my God, thank you. What? Thank you so much. Whitney, thanks for the cozy cryptids. Anyway, so yes, there are a few. Pal, Bradley, it's the same for all of them. It's the same for all of them. Wow. Pal. Full. Yeah, like foil. Foil. I say full. Like, hand me that. Can you hand me some aluminum foil? Because foil. Child. It's child. Mild. And you guys say mild. Mild sauce. I say mild sauce. And you guys say mild. Mild sauce. Love you too, Sherry. Anyway. Yes, I do. Sometimes, thanks, Priscilla. Sometimes I do, there are certain words. Yeah, she ran a mile on the towel. Yeah. There are certain words that my accent, for some reason, the ILE is one of them, no matter how much training I had. Towel, mile, owl, all are difficult. But any of you guys who grew up in North Carolina, you probably also know what raise hail, praise Dale means. And I feel like that's only something rednecks know. Raise hail, praise Dale. Hail, raise bow. Raise hail, praise Dale. Oh, first light. I know you know what that means. You're North Carolina. Raise hail, praise Dale. Yep, there you go. CJ. CJ said Dale Earnhardt's my favorite U.S. president. I love CJ and his fake history. Good night, pals. I love you guys so much. Thank you for spending your evenings with me. Happy solstice. I will see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the live premiere of the new story. And if you can't make it, I'll see you guys again tomorrow night. Same time, same place, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget, stay spooky.